Hey folks, Justin Thayer, TeamThayer.com. I'm here with Brandon Thayer, the real estate protege, the young realtor, the young realtor in training. Today, another important topic. It's going to be the top 10 real estate search portals or real estate sites on the internet. So in the last few years, I've personally started to see a shift in dynamics on how buyers, brokers, and real estate marketing or advertising interact. What I'm starting to notice is instead of the traditional buyer's agent doing the traditional job of finding the homes for their client, emailing them, right, and then that'd be the main forum where the buyers are getting the information on what homes are on the market in their price range and parameters. And I'm starting to see where buyers or buyers agents or brokers are calling me and asking me about homes that they have seen on websites or advertising that I'm doing. So, where in the past I really knew that multiple listing service, right, was directly affecting my marketing more than anything else, or the homes that we're selling. Because traditionally, I would list a home, I put on the multiple listing service. All the buyer's agents or all the realtors are connected into that system. They immediately know what's on the market, have all the stats, and then they are notified by a tickler that they have put the parameters in already for their buyer, and usually at the same time the buyer is notified at the same time, or just a broker just getting on the internet or getting on the multiple listing service and doing their own search. And that still happens. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that it's even what the statistics are. I don't know, but what I'm seeing more and more are buyer's agents calling me asking about homes that they'd seen outside of the MLS and trying to get enough information to direct them to which MLS number that's going to be. I've also get a lot of calls from buyers who do have buyers brokers who are seeing my listings on the internet outside of the MLS once again, and then I'll usually give them the information to give to the realtor, or I'll call their realtor and say, hey, here it is, great, go show it to them. And in that is the importance of bang for the buck. Where do you spend your time and money, right? There are thousands and thousands of these real estate websites or real estate search portals, okay, where you can search for homes that are currently listed and for sale. And of course, we want to put the most energy into the most productive. And in that, we have the top 10 list. I have it up back here. It's kind of hard to see because of the light colors, but we'll go through it real quickly. I have it here pulled up on my laptop. So the top 10. Number one, first and foremost, is Zillow. A lot of people don't like Zillow. I happen to love the site. It's full of great information. Anything that is value related that seems to bother a lot of brokers or realtors, seems with my clients, I easily can just explain to them what the situation is, and if there's an anomaly or a difference in what the value is, what it's showing, and they're usually reasonable about that, as far as I've seen so far anyway. Zillow is huge. I love the site. Like I said, I spent a lot of time and energy there, algorithm manipulating, trying to make sure my listings are going to come up more often. And they got 44.19 million views or hits per year. So it's a huge number. Second, you have Trulia, who's been purchased by Zillow. I'm not sure what's going to be happening with that, but they're in second, and they get 33.70 million hits per year. And then you're going to go to Realtor.com, Front Door Real Estate, Homes.com, MSN Real Estate, okay? And then you get rent.com, AOL Real Estate, and Apartment Guide. What makes any of these websites better than another? Well, I can tell you from my standpoint as a real estate broker, a person people hire to get the most money out of their homes when they go to sell it, my whole purpose, or what I'm looking for, is adaptability in the website listing form itself. How much information can I put extra over and above what's coming from the multiple listing service? So when it comes to where these sites are getting their information, they're all coming from the same place, right? They're getting their information from the local multiple listing services. So when a real estate agent or broker, takes a listing, they take all that information and the pictures and they put it in the MLS or multiple listing service. From there, those multiple listing services have contracts, right, where they're actually selling this information to the Zillow, Trulias, or the search portholes. So that's number one for me, is how I can access the back end of these things, add more information, right? More pictures, more video, different video on these same houses, and really amp up the information, or what a search algorithm would consider pertinent information, the most pertinent information, and really boost my listing. As far as being a real estate buyer, I think there's a huge advantage when you're working with a buyer's agent or a buyer's broker to kind of looking and poking around on your own. And one of the huge advantages is when you talk to your buyer's broker or buyer's agent, you give them a set of parameters. I want a house this size. It has to have a garage. It has to have so many bedrooms. It has to have so many bathrooms. And you have all these items that have been given to the buyer's agent or buyer's broker, and they are pretty much going to stick to that list of items. A buyer's agent or buyer's broker who is really good is going to think and look outside the box. So if they find something that really has a value to a client in one way, but it's missing one of the other components that the client said that they couldn't live without, or what they were looking for, they can still bring that property to their attention. Okay, and when you become your own advocate, or when you start shopping on your own on Zillow and Trulia, and right, you do become your own advocate. You can see things that your real estate broker might not have sent you or suggested, just because there's a piece of information that it might have even been a year back or 6 months back, and you might have completely kind of forgotten that you didn't want to have a house that was, in a certain location or with a certain layout, floor plan, or amenities, and then you've kind of changed your mind or softened up on that a bit. Now, I never, ever would suggest, and I certainly still don't, that any person should not use a buyer's broker or buyer's agent, right? Truthfully, if you know anything about how real estate really works, you know that once the buyer's agent or broker finds the house, or once the buyer's chosen a house, that's where the work really begins. Finding the house, the easy part. Making sure you get the best value for the money, you're protected, the inspections are right, and everything goes smooth. Your loan gets closed. That's the hard part of buying a house. The easy part's finding it. And I think with internet and the kind of the revolution with all the information that's out there with real estate on the internet, I think a lot of buyers know that these days. So let me just stress, I want to be crystal clear on this. There is never a time when a buyer should not be looking at homes and going through a buyer's broker or buyer's agent. Okay? It's definitely healthy to be looking on your own, because it gives you a chance to kind of think outside the box, the parameters that you've given to your professional. But one of the things that I stress, and I will never, I just can't say it enough. If you're buying a home without a buyer's agent, right? You're coming against a listing broker or a person like me with no advantage. You have all disadvantages, right? Personally, I will not work with a person on a home that I have listed unless they are properly being represented by a buyer's agent. Because my job, what I've been hired to do, the contract that is laid out, right, is for me to get the very most money for my seller's house in the very best terms. That's what my job is. And I have to do that under the Oregon brokerage license that includes or comes with a fiduciary responsibility to those sellers. And that's to put their interest over and above my own. So, there you go. Top 10 real estate websites. Zillow, Trulia, you got your Realtor.com, your Homes.com. What's it matter to a buyer? Hey, whatever you like. They all work about the same since they're all getting the same information from the same multiple listing services, right? What's it matter to a seller? A lot. When you're a seller, if you're hiring or interviewing listing brokers, you need to be asking, hey, what are the top 10 or top 5 or whatever places to list my home outside of the multiple listing service? Where are all the people finding these homes, right? Where is a place that you can make my home look the best? Add pictures, video, do different things. Definitely when you're selling your home, this is an important thing to know, okay? Most important is going to be the top 4. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Yahoo Homes. Let me make sure I got that right. And then after that, Front Door Real Estate is number 5, and they kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, Front Door Real Estate, I've just been focusing on that site recently. I mean, when I have a top 5 hitter like that, and they just kind of went into place, I felt I was even a little behind. And I'm usually really cutting edge, and I'm sure I am in comparison. I think most brokers couldn't even tell you what the top 3 were. But so yeah, it's important for a seller or listing broker to have this information, work with this information, especially and much more than a buyer. Brandon, what do you think about all that?
Dazed me.
I dazed him. So that's all we got for today. Hey, leave a comment below. Right?
Thumbs up, thumbs down, we don't care.
We give it great feedback. If you don't like the videos I'm putting out, you don't like the way I sound, if I sound a little hoarse today, or if I seem a little off, go ahead and comment. I don't care if you put thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let's keep it honest. I want to keep myself going in the right direction. There's a subscribe button. Should be up right about here.
Nice, big and red.
It says subscribe today. You hit that, then it'll take you to the front page where you can hit the subscribe button again. So it's actually 2 clicks. Those 2 clicks help me out a lot. The subscribe button is probably the most crucial thing that a person can do to help me advertise my channel and my videos. For Brandon Thayer, Justin Thayer, TeamThayer.com. See you next time.
No.
Oh?
That's good.